Alright viewers, welcome back to the channel. Haven't done a lawnmower video in a while, so here we are. We got a Murray 30-inch cut, rear engine, mid engine, whatever. It's been given some problems. It's got the power built 10.5 horsepower engine from Briggs & Stratton, and it's having some problems. Problem it was having was, or is the it would backfire through the intake and through the carburetor and exhaust. So of course I checked the muffler, it's not clogged. I ran a compression, I pulled the valve cover off and checked the valve clearance. The intake valve was a slight tick tight, but I adjusted them anyway. Ran a compression test on the engine, installed a new spark plug because it had the original spark plug in it. And this mower is roughly, well, this mower's been used for five years, five mowing seasons. Compression test confirmed that it was holding, that it was good. Put it all back together, started it up, still backfiring through the intake and exhaust. So at that point, I pulled the carburetor off of it, because up till then it seemed like a electrical or a ignition problem, if you will. Pulled the carburetor off of it and took the bowl off of it. Fairly easy carburetor to work on. Nothing was clogged up, no dirt in the carburetor, nothing. So put it back together, and still doing the same thing, backfiring through the exhaust and the intake. So at that point I started thinking about the keyway on the crankshaft. I had went online and saw that quite a few people were having this issue, and people were chiming in saying that their responses were the keyway on the crankshaft. Keyway on the crankshaft. Well, I'm not saying that wasn't true or isn't true. It could happen, especially when you get into taller grass, thicker grass, and you bog this little mower down. Then the engine has to catch back up. So yeah, over time I could understand where you know, that would cause an issue with the timing. But I overlooked that till now. And so what I wanted to do was tell you what I did. So I went on Amazon and didn't want to put a lot of money in this little mower, because if it's done, it's done. I hate to say that because it had lots of compression. It was clean inside. So at that point, I went and removed the head, and I decided, well, it doesn't take much effort to do a valve job on one of these things. So, but I do have the proper tools and equipment to do that. So I do not recommend you doing it yourself. If you don't understand guide placement and guide wear, you need to take it to a shop that does do machine work on these cylinder heads. That being said, I set it up. I had very minimal wear in the guide. One thing, okay, let's stop right there. So one thing I did find was there was not a lot of carbon buildup to where I thought it felt like it would cause that cloaking or clocking I've heard some people say, where you get a tremendous amount of carbon buildup up inside the combustion chamber, around the valves, and on the top of the piston. I didn't really see a whole lot of that. I mean, it did have some carbon on it, but regardless, I went ahead and cleaned everything up, did a valve job on the head, new seal, new head gasket, new valve cover gasket. Obviously it's all back together. Well, so back to Amazon. Didn't want to put a lot of money in this thing, and this carburetor from most sources is 100 and anywhere between 130 to $170 for a new Briggs and Stratton Nicky model carburetor. Now I wasn't going to put that in this. Hell, this mower's 5 years old, and I got it on sale for like $750 at Walmart. It's just kind of a spur of the moment deal to mow our front yard. My other mower at the time was too big. It was too big for our small front yard, so we needed a smaller mower. So that's why I bought this, and it did perfect. Cut good. Never had any issues with it until recently. So I go on Amazon and I found this replacement carburetor. It's like 18 bucks. So you see why I went that way. Big price difference. And I got a head gasket from Briggs and Stratton's, actual replacement head gasket, valve cover gasket, put in a new spark plug, replaced the coil, also off of Amazon, plug wire, put on a new air filter, because the one that was on it was original, just blew it out every season with low compressed air. So bought a new filter for it, and new carburetor, and put all that stuff on there at one time, put it back together, started it up. I was able to mow with it. It popped, it backfired through the intake and exhaust one time. So that led me to believe that, and then after that it mowed fine. So I just continued to mow, and it was doing fine. It was mowing good, no misfiring, no popping and cracking. So I thought, well, I must be onto something here, this thing. But it seemed to be low on power. Now, as far as this carburetor goes, there's only one adjustment screw on this one, and that's right here. I didn't even mess with it. I bolted it on, made sure the seals were good and tight, put a new gasket on it, made sure there was no vacuum leaks, and mowed. 2 days later, I went to mow the front yard, and it mowed fine for about 20 minutes. And then it started to pop and crack and bang again through the intake and exhaust. And I barely got the front yard mowed. Regardless. So that led me into today. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and do a video on this, because this might help some of you, or it may help me. Some of you might comment below and tell me something else to look for that I have missed. The starter engages and disengages like it should. Battery's good. Valves are adjusted. I mean, you know, even I miss something every once in a while. So, okay, so to the crank key. Let's go in here. Here's the crank key laying right there. Here's the inside of the flywheel. Now all that stuff right there is the glue that they use to hold the magnets to the flywheel on the inside. I have no loose magnets, and I know I have no slop in the crank key. Okay, there's no side to side play. Nothing. And when you measure it, like I did, it measures the same on all four sides. There's not even a thou worth of wear. It's just all the same. So it's not the keyway, it's not a timing issue, so that pretty much leads me back to a fuel issue. So I believe that this new carburetor is a spitting image of the original carburetor. You can't do nothing with it. And so I'm not sure which way to go at this point. Here's the Here's the original Nicky carburetor that was on it. Like I said, I took this one apart, cleaned it. It does have one little thing in it that I don't like. Other than that, it's easy to work on. I don't like the O-ring that seals the bowl, and all the ports and passages is all one piece. Not a big fan of that. Therefore, I don't think you should be charging that much money for an original carburetor either because of that. But hey, you know, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. I don't know, like I said, the inside of the flywheel was really dirty and filled with old dead and dry grass and dirt. It didn't have a charging issue, so I never thought to pop the flywheel off for any reason till recently. Well, to today. I expected to find maybe a loose magnet. However, it was not blowing a fuse, so I kind of figured it wasn't that. But it was caked full of dirt and dead grass and stuff, so I don't know if that could have helped me out here or not. But anyway, I'm not going to make this video any longer. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell, because I may do another video on this project and let you know what I found, if I find anything. But hit that subscribe button, like, comment below, share it, and tell me what you think. Alright guys, thanks for watching.